So Amanda, thanks so very, very much for joining me on the Quantum Creating podcast. And I'm thrilled to get someone with your level of expertise with me for this next 40 minutes or so.
Thank you, Paul, for the invite.
It's an absolute pleasure. I'm interested, life throws us many curveballs. And when we're in this space of helping people showcase their expertise, grow, develop, I think it's important to let them know that we too suffer from these curveballs, wouldn't you say?
Yes. I had lots of curveballs happening in 2019. Still got a little curveball coming at me, but last year was a real year of development and growth. And I also learned that it's really important in order to engage with your community is to actually come out and to tell people life's a bit shit sometimes. It's been really hard. And I'm a person, I help people get really visible. I help people get visible in the press. But I kind of was a bit of under a Sharon stone last year because I couldn't, I couldn't be doing all my Facebook lives because I was feeling so shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was going through a bit of a life change, let's just say it that way. And it was a big curveball. I still was showing up, but not half as much as I used to be. But it's only now, 2020, that I really feel that I'm back on track and got everything back together, which is brilliant. So last year it was a big, steep learning curve.
And we get them, right? No one's immune to them. No one's immune to, let's call it suffering in some degree. But it's how we bounce back from that. It's how we deal with that and show up afterwards and what we learn from it that clearly defines us.
It is. And, I just think, as opposed, and I was literally doing a video just earlier before we spoke about something which happened yesterday, actually. So last year, going through a bit of a, family traumatic time and something, I've always had a bit of a fear of driving. I think you might have read some of my posts.
Yeah.
But this, because I've had an accident in India. We had a lorry go right into the back of us. We all survived. It was fine. But,
that's one place you don't want to have an accident as well, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, it was in a little Suzuki Maruti car. And we had a driver because I was with my mum. We were sourcing beads. We used to source beads from all around the world for her mail order company. We were going to go to Varanasi, but we were en route from Delhi to Jaipur in this very small. If you think about those Cinquecento, those little bubble cars, the Fiat 500.
Right.
So it was a car like that. Wow. And the guy had loaded the back with a huge suitcase. So because he was taking loads of stuff for his daughter who lived in Jaipur. So it was the suitcase that saved our backs and saved our lives.
No way.
Yeah. So he was driving along, and my mum said, "Amanda, let's go with our bead supplier." And I said, "No, Mum, let's go by the train because I'm a real nervous driver and passenger." Okay. So you can imagine in India, beep beep,
Yeah.
It's chaos everywhere. So I said, "No, let's go by train." And my mum said, "No, let's be polite. He's offered to drive us. Let's go with our supplier and his son." And they were Sikhs, and it's important to know that they were Sikhs because of something happened. So basically, we were driving along, and I blew up my little neck pillow, the airplane neck pillow things. Yeah. I thought, right, I'm just going to sleep. I do not want to be looking at the traffic. I want to be on a train, just watching the countryside go by. But no, I'm in a car. So I closed my eyes and I went to sleep. Next minute, pop, my air pillow blew up. It exploded, inflated because we'd had a crash. Right. So what had happened was he was driving along, minding his own business, driving nicely, and then suddenly coming right into our pathway was a horse and cart.
Right.
We were about to steer right into them because the person was overtaking, and then right behind us we had a massive lorry. Okay.
Oh my God.
Apparently, it turns out the lorry driver was a bit drunk, had been drinking at the wheel, and he ran straight into the back of us. The suitcase saved our lives because it was so ram-packed with stuff. The car's literally, the boot was concertinaed. Oh. I immediately got out and I had to use my feet to leave the door open to rescue my mum, to drag her out of the car. And so we stood on the side of the road and then, trying to flag down somebody to help us. Oh my God. And then all these lorries would come by with people laden. You know what it's like when you see these lorries and you have people there, and then it's like almost sway to one side to kind of overtake us. The reason why I told you that the driver was a Sikh is because his headscarf, his turban, saved him, because he literally, when he crashed, he went straight into the windscreen.
Right.
Unfortunately, his son, who'd been westernized, gone to a UK university, didn't wear a headscarf anymore. So he's got a horrible gash on the front of his head. Anyway, so that's an experience. So from then on, I've had a real fear of driving, and
Right.
also of lorries going up my backside.
Yeah.
When I was pregnant, driving with my daughter Nina, I was going on the M25 to London. I had a lorry clip the side of my car, and it's like, oh my God, so lorries are out there to get me. Anyway, so the amazing thing that happened yesterday was I managed to drive on the A12. It's a very busy dual carriageway from Colchester to Ipswich. And the year before I couldn't do it because of my panic, because I was, things were getting in the way so much last year that it was a big fat curveball going on. And apparently when things happen, you have panic attacks show up in all sorts of places. So my panic attack place was driving.
Okay.
So I couldn't go to my daughter's parents' evening. I was too scared to go in the dark because the A12 is so busy. It's on the way to Felixstowe. So you've got lorries, boom, boom, boom. It's horrible. And so I had to have my daughter's parents' evening via phone. I literally had to call the teachers and speak to them.
Okay.
And then yesterday I went and I drove, and Nina got in the car after the parents' evening, which was very good. And she goes, Mum, I can't believe how strong and powerful you are. You're the most powerful woman I know. Because last year you couldn't come to my parents' evening. It's like, oh my God, it made me cry as I was driving back, and it was incredible. I did have some lorries en route, but I wasn't scared because I have done so much work on myself, for, meditation, spiritual awakening, so much stuff I've done on myself. Also, it's what you need to do. If you're ever stuck for something, you need to call in the experts.
Yeah.
So I called in an expert, and that was a driving instructor, and I had some intensive driving lessons over the summer holidays.
Right.
And it was 2 sets of 2 hours. It was my bête noire being on the. I'm come from Worcester, so I had to drive all the way from Worcester, from Essex. That's a 4-hour drive at the best of times.
Right.
I thought, right, when I get there, I'm going to book this guy to help me because he got my niece through her driving lessons.
Okay.
And she passed first time. So I thought, right, he's the bloke to show me. And I was sweating. We got into the car, and it was like we had to do about 3 or 4 different motorways. Going to Birmingham. Can you imagine? You got the M62, the M this, M that, M the bloody other. So he took me through it. Like, oh my God, took me through my paces, put me right in the deep end. Oh my God! And I kept on opening and shutting the window, having hot flushes.
Wow.
He was teaching me nicely, with love and with care, and he boosted my confidence. He said, "You are a good driver. You're safe." Because I love to give people distance. I hate it when people go around at your backside.
Yeah.
So by calling in the experts, that's another thing that really helped me. So various things helped me get over my driving hump. And I'm not going to say that I'm the world's confident driver still, but when I see a lorry, I don't see a big scary face on it saying, "I'm out to get you. I'm here to shove you up the backside."
That's incredible, and is a fabulous lesson for people to listen to and to translate into all their fears and all their different situations that they face in life. I'm interested though. Was it the parents' evening phone call that made you decide to face your fears in that?
No, I was going through such a hard time. It was just, that was like it wasn't the straw that broke the camel's back, but it was just, I just couldn't face doing it. I just had to say to Nina, "I'm sorry, I'm feeling ill." I had to, face that I was feeling ill.
Yeah.
And I was feeling ill in my head. I had, not mental health issue, but I had a serious issue that prevented me from being I'm a very confident, out there kind of person. But there's a veneer behind everybody. You hear about Robbie Williams going onto stage and he goes and gets depression. The most out there people can be, have many demons going on. And so that was one of my demons. So it wasn't necessarily that, it was the fact that going back in the summer holidays, or probably the Easter holidays, having to take my kids and pressing on my iPhone the Google Maps saying avoid motorways. And the poor kids, instead of doing a 4-hour drive to get to my mum's house, it would be 6 hours plus.
Wow.
I thought, God, this can't go on.
Needs must almost, right?
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just, you just have to do it. So if you're running your own business, whatever you're doing, and something is preventing you from doing it, it's a motivation. And actually, I did NLP last year, and I'm now an NLP practitioner, neuro-linguistic programming. Okay. And I remember we had to do an anchoring exercise. We had to use our knuckle, our first index finger knuckle, is our motivation. And something which helps me to be motivated is to actually go ahead and just damn well do it. So so during the NLP training, your partner has to say to you, okay, so close your eyes, think of a time when you're really motivated to do something. And in my mind, I think, God, I love swimming outdoors. I'm a member of the David Lloyd gym. So the swimming pool is heated, but yet I hate swimming inside because it's just find it far too stuffy and claustrophobic. I like being in the open air, but yet it's freezing, to literally get out there and to swim. It's actually pretty damn cold. So my motivation thing is, I just remember what I do is I get my stopwatch on. I don't faff. I let put on my goggles and my hat, and I sit there and I literally press start on my stopwatch.
Okay.
And because I've pressed start, I'm not going to press stop. I just have to go and do my laps.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I had that as my motivation on my knuckle. And so whenever I press it, I go, it makes me take a huge inhalation, which means I'm back to swim. So basically what I'm trying to say is, if you're ever stuck, I think JFDI, just effing well do it. Just put your feet to the fire and do it, and don't have any excuses. And if you fuck it up, bad luck, you've messed it up.
Yeah. And I think we have to get okay with that as well. Sometimes we do these things, especially if we start and just go. There are going to be times when we're going to get things wrong. There are going to be times we miscalculate. There are going to be times when we fail. But it's really important, I think, for us to understand that that's okay. It's part of the process. We'll probably fail or make more mistakes than we will succeed, right?
Yeah, but at least you started. Let's just go back to the swimming analogy. So, I press start and I'm all guns out, and then suddenly I get a leak in my goggles. I haven't put the goggles on properly, so you have to stop. So what? But I'm still in flow, and I'm still going to, carry on. I'm not going to go back and sit and fix and just carry on. So, I think, you just need, you will have curveballs within your curveballs.
Absolutely. Curveballs within your curveballs. I like that. I wouldn't like to have one of them balls bowled at me. So what's really interesting for me is I know quite a bit of your background, and I know that you've been voted the UK's top PR advisor previously. So you have abilities to help people extract their superpower out of them and become more visible. A lot of people would say that's their worst nightmare. So how do you go about doing that for people and allow them to be comfortable being uncomfortable, let's call it?
Yes. I mean, that is the biggest thing. Whenever I do my workshops and say, how are you with self-promotion? Do you love it or hate it? Most people say, I hate it, because nobody likes to show off. But I always do say, if you can't, I'm not going to say show off about your business. If you can't talk about your business and be proud of what you do and talk in an impassioned way, who else is going to do it for you? Unless, of course, you're paying an expensive PR agency. So everybody who runs a business needs to be comfortable with actually falling in love with self-promo. It's the new black, I call it.
Right. Okay.
And I learned this back in 2008. I met up with a friend who also had just set up a business. I set up my business in 2008, selling knitwear online as an online e-store. And she said that she'd spoken to a business mentor, and he said, you need to do a self-promo activity once a day. Okay. One. And you're thinking, oh my God, what can I do? But actually self-promo is not all about going, I'm amazing, buy from me. It's also self-promo. I call it 60-40. So 60% is you actually helping somebody else. Okay. You going, dear journalist, I've just read your article. I love it. It really resonated with me about your mental health struggles. And that's all you're doing. That's self-promo. Right. And you're not doing it in a sycophantic way. You're doing it just to kind of get on someone's radar in a nice way.
Okay.
So you do 60% of that of your kind of daily activities, saying hi. For example, Paul, you've invited me to do this podcast. We've been kind of chatting online, whatever. You like my posts, we like each other's posts, and it's just a nice way to slowly get on someone's radar. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
As opposed to going to dinner, a networking event, going, hey, I'm Amanda, I'm a PR expert, buy my services. You just need to get to know people slowly. And then the other 40% dotted in and about your kind of your pie chart is doing a bit of, and I've got this fantastic offer, and it's gonna really help you push yourself out there. But having somebody who can help you with your self promo, like it's there's a woman who's written a book, Jessica Bennett. She's written The Feminist Fight Club. It's fantastic. It's called Your Boast Bitch. So you can just have somebody who will you know, back you up and say she's great, you know. So basically it's the people who give you referrals.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not your PR agency, but it's just a friend or a colleague who'll give you a testimonial and say, I've worked with Amanda because, you know, she really helped me come out of my shell. And so how I do it is I sit with people, I give them quite an in-depth questionnaire and ask them about all their golden nuggets of interest, which they're so used to. So it's like all their family knows that they used to do this. I personally used to play lacrosse for England. Okay, so all my family know about it. But is that interesting to you, Paul? Yes, no?
Well, I used to be a pro athlete, so it's very interesting to me.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it is interesting, and I feel it's a golden nugget of mine because it's why I'm so how do you call it, such a terrier, you know. So, you know, because it's quite an aggressive sport,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can't take, you know, prisoners, can you, when you're
No.
playing it, you know, when you're playing a sport like that. And so that's why, you know, I like to go and get my results, and I think that's maybe, you know, that's a golden nugget of interest for me. Yours will be because you're next pro athlete. What did you used to do?
I was a professional footballer.
Oh, were you? There you
Yeah.
go. You see, team player and all the rest of it. Yeah. So having done that, it just shows we've got resilience and we can do it. But what is it about you that is interesting so that all your family know? And it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And you think, no, but my family know it. I know it. It's really boring to the outside world, but actually that's what a journalist will pick up on, go, oh my God. And it might be something which really resonates with the journalist you're pitching to. So you're an ex-pro footballer. So let's just say you're trying to pitch to Esquire magazine and the guy used to play in your team or supports your former team. That's a bit of connection that you probably didn't assume you might have had you never come out with the fact that you're ex-professional footballer.
And it's all about connection, right? This whole promotion of self, of business, it's all about the connections we make, you know, on or offline.
Yes, it is. So when I was first kind of getting into this whole online world, looking at LinkedIn, you'd actually look at people's schools they used to go to. Ah, that's interesting. Well, I used to go to your school, or my brother used to go to your school. So it's having something that kind of links us together, which makes you not just some random outsider who wants a bit of you. It's how can I help you? And you know, and then you give people a bit, you know, if they've just written an article, I'm just going to go back to the mental health, that's got to, you know, that's what I'm thinking about at the moment. You know, you can share an article about something else. If they're looking for an expert, help them out, because you might know somebody else who is an expert in another area, like PTSD or something like that. So it's just being helpful and not just expecting from the word go that they're going to go, yeah, I love you. It's a slow, I call it peeling back the onion skin, you know. It's like slowly, and then you get to the heart of it.
Do you recommend that people use a particular type of promotion, like video, or do you have them work across the board?
Yeah, I think video is really strong. So because people can engage with you and see you. So yes, I really recommend video. But if people are trying to get into their target publications, it really depends on the journalist you're pitching to. So really, the journalists don't actually have time to be watching videos. They will do if they have found out about you and you've got a really good following, let's say on YouTube. They might suddenly come across you because you might be putting a really good heading, like how to get over your worst nightmare. I mean, you know, that's an example. But really, in terms of pitching to people actually do like emails because they're so busy. Journalists are just, you know, run themselves ragged. They're having to pitch to their editors. So it's quite you know, you need to respect their job is quite hard, and they haven't got time to be watching all these videos and everything. But in terms of promo within your own community, yeah, definitely do Facebook Lives, do video. And I know that people like subtitles. I haven't actually got into doing my subtitles yet. And also do very short videos, like 90 seconds long, because our attention spans are a bit like goldfish these days, aren't they?
True.
You know?
It's funny. I did a whole series of videos on Instagram, and Instagram. This was before Instagram TV, so you could only do 60-second.
Oh.
But I got very, very good at timing 60-second videos, and also got very, very good at putting content in very quickly. Like here's today's nugget, bang, away you go. And I ended up doing 2 years of that straight. So somewhere around about 700 videos.
Wow.
And that was really, really successful. I still get people talking to me about that today. Yeah.
So was it a great, great engagement tool for you?
Yeah, well, basically, I was working with a client and I was helping them become more visible, right? They wanted to become more visible. They wanted to grow their brand and they wanted to do it on Instagram. So I said to them, start posting a daily video, right? Show up every day and do a video. And they were a bit umming and ahhing about it, a bit resistant to it. So I said I would do it as well to show them how easy it was.
Yeah.
And basically we went for 50. I said, we're going to do 50 because we have 50 days yet left of our coaching program.
Yeah.
We're going to do one every day. So you can track me, I can track you. Now he stopped after 50, funnily enough.
Right.
I carried on. I just got into the habit of doing it, and I'm a creature of habit. So I run routines, I run systems, algorithms, whatever you want to call them. And I just, every day, bang, did a video. Every day, bang, did a video. It was part of my day. And then before I knew it, I was up to 700. And I thought,
that's amazing.
Yeah, that's probably okay now. I've probably done enough content.
Yeah. And if you were going to do a video, because I've just got into Instagram TV,
Mm-hmm.
so are you still doing your 60 minutes or 60 seconds, or are you doing like a longer version now?
No, I tend to do longer versions now. So I still do a daily video, but I usually do it in my groups. I still do the odd Instagram video, but I do it as Instagram TV, so it shows you 60 seconds and goes into that.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting way of doing it because you have to be extremely direct. You can't, there's no fluff. You're just hello, bang, and you're into the content.
Yeah. And do you tend to do a call to action at the end of it if you like this?
Not on all of them, but yeah, on a great many of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're talking about self-promo. So that's a fantastic self-promo tool. And, if you're not doing a call to action at the end of it, then you're not doing massive push, buy type thing, which is nice, as opposed to people thinking, oh my God, I'm going to watch it. I know he's going to be selling something at the end of it. So it's actually nice to not know and just say, okay, you're just sharing your expertise really. And they know that you're a reliable source.
Yeah, that's true. And in 60 seconds, you've got nowhere to go really. I mean, you can't do a big call to action really. If you want any more of this, just click on the link in my bio, bang, and it takes you to my YouTube channel or my Facebook group or whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
So when
good,
I really enjoyed it as well. And you know what's interesting, Amanda, is that it didn't come easily to me. I'm quite an expressive guy. I played football. I've done other things athletically. I've done other things, in my life. I was a lead saxophonist in the jazz band for a while. So I've put myself out there, but I was never totally comfortable doing it. I wanted to push my boundaries, so to speak. How do you find you're helping people overcome those limiting boundaries they have?
Well, people will come to me because they know that they've got a fantastic message to share with the world, and they don't just want to be sharing it within their Facebook community or whatever. So they, for starters, they know that they've got a message to share. So that's like, okay, that's hump number one. So let's just help you get your confidence, okay? And again, I could use a neuro-linguistic technique in order to help them with their self-confidence, which is very, very powerful. But really, it's, you've started something, you started your business. Was it a hobby? Was it a passion? Why are you doing, think about your big fat why. Why are you doing it? To put bread on the table? Is it to luxury holidays, to put your kids through university? So when you're in touch with why exactly you're doing it, when you get rejections, which is what I first learned when I ran my business, my knitwear business, I wasn't a PR expert at that stage, but actually doing that for a few years, about 4 years, I became a PR expert because I literally pushed myself, because nobody else was going to discover me. I had an online store. Wow, I launched it the 1st of November 2008. Okay, right, where is everybody? Nowhere, because it's bloody in oblivion. So how the hell are people going to find out about it? Because I'm going to speak, I'm going to do a smile and dial, speak to the press and try and get some press coverage. But it comes with its pitfalls, you see. So, and I was running it on a shoestring budget. So I'd found some models. I literally scouted some models on the street. I literally saw this pretty girl. I said, hey, you're attractive. Would you like to be in my photo shoot? She looked she had such a great look. So I did that. I had a good photographer. We did it in some, stately home grounds, which was free at that stage, because I was a mum with 2 kids, had no budget at all. And they did their own hair and makeup. Anyway, so, we put together this nice brochure, print catalogue, which my mum had also done throughout, so I've been brought up with designing catalogues and working with, mail order type business. So I had this whole, I had all the photo shoot done, beautiful shots, really happy with it. And I wanted to get into the leading publications, Marie Claire, Woman and Home, all the big fat publications, because you see my knitwear was high end, but it was also kind of appealing to Waitrose woman. So
Okay.
it wasn't the low end. It was high end. So I would speak to these stylists and fashion journalists, and I would call them up, or either I'd send them my low res image. If you ever want to send anything, always send a low resolution image as part of your pitching document, part of your email. So one woman I called up and said, "Oh," and she goes, "Oh, did you do that photo shoot on your own? Gosh, did you do that? Did they do their own hair and makeup?" She was basically slagging off my whole photo shoot, that I had spent blood, sweat and tears. I'd had to put the children in childcare, had to drive miles. She did not know what had gone on behind the scenes to try and get this whole shoot sorted out. So it was like, oh my God, yeah, I did. Oh, well, that's it. I'm not interested. Goodbye. Oh my God. So it's like, can you imagine having that kind of a phone call when you're on your own, you work from home, you're a solopreneur, you've got your kids in nursery, and you're trying to do a good thing by helping import Peruvian knitwear. It's produced by people who are paid a fair wage. I was ethically sourcing it. My God, I'd gone to Arequipa in Peru to source. I'd met the factory workers. I'd done videos on the knitters and all the rest of it. And then this woman just slags off the photo shoot. So I put the phone down. I thought, oh my God, right, okay, that's what you call a big fat rejection. And I didn't know what to do to kind of get over it, because I didn't have anybody to speak to. Because when you work on your own from home, it's quite lonely, isn't it? So I went upstairs and I did something very uncharacteristic. I got the laundry basket, the clean laundry, and just started folding the clothes. And I'm really undomesticated. I thought, what the fuck am I doing folding all these clothes? I guess it was just like a calming activity, and it took me away.
Right.
So I'd folded the clothes, and then I came downstairs. I thought, so I don't know whether your audience likes swearing. So I do swear a bit. I said,
it's okay, don't worry.
Fuck you, love. So I called up another publication, and guess what happened? The woman said, "Oh, I just love your shoot. I just love your model. She's so beautiful. Can I have high-res images, please?" Do you know what I mean? So that woman, the first one was like, oh, far too up her own arse to care about my stuff. So you will get rejections. You will get your trolls whenever you put yourself out there. But I've always been taught that whenever you get your trolls, it's when you're doing something right.
Yes.
You put your head above the parapet, and it's time to be out there.
Yeah, you when you become visible, you become visible. You become visible to the people that like what you do. You become visible to the people that don't like what you do, and visible to people that don't care.
Exactly. Yes, but then the great thing is you will be appealing to people who actually like your stuff.
Yeah, and what surprises me, Amanda, is that you don't need to appeal to that many people to actually be super successful.
Yes, you don't. It can be a small audience, and then things can grow from there.
Yeah.
One mention in Forbes magazine, and it's helped my clients get speaking gigs, TV show invites, podcast invites. So it seems like it's most people I work with want to be on Forbes, and I've got a contact at Forbes, so I ask my clients to pitch to her, and if she likes them, then she might publish them. Nothing's ever a guarantee.
No, of course.
Because she may not like what they do or whatever. But anyway, to get, basically, if you put yourself out there in a publication that you'd love to get into, and it's right for your target audience, then you'll have people coming to you saying, "Oh, I read about you. I want to share you on my podcast." It can just spread your name much further and wider.
Yeah, and of course, if you are knocked back and destroyed by the first rejection you get, then you're never going to put yourself in that position to spread your message.
Yeah, exactly. No one's ever going to hear what you do, and so it's all very well investing in your stock, in your website, and everything else. And if you just you have to be one of those, what do they call, whack-a-mole?
Oh yeah, I remember them. Yeah,
you remember? Yeah.
So I think we used to go at that too hard in our family. It's very worrying.
Oh, did you? Oh, you probably used to ruin the whole thing then, did you, with your muscles? But anyway, so it's really just keep on trying. You have a rejection, go back, have another go. The next person might be really lovely, like that very example I've given you.
And it just shows you it's people's perspective, right? People have a certain perspective, and it's their perspective. We may take it badly, but we shouldn't. It's not a slight on us. It's their thing, not ours.
It's the mirror, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'd obviously had a
Absolutely.
bad day. Her boyfriend probably chucked her.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, maybe my knitwear wasn't right for her magazine. Yeah, okay.
It's interesting because you were fair trade before it was fashionable then.
Man, I was a pioneer. Yeah.
Riding
Yeah.
the crest of the wave, right?
Yes, exactly. And then I decided actually, I was always really jealous of people selling a service, their brain, what goes
Okay.
on up in your nut, your coconut. And, and I hated all my stock, carrying stock and having to, relentlessly promote it and sell it and this, that, and the other. And because I had so much success getting into Vogue, Marie Claire, You magazine, You from the Daily Mail, I had
Yeah.
some fantastic press appearances. And
Right.
every time I got them, it boosted the business and I made some fantastic sales as a result. I just thought, do you know what? I actually really love doing this. Oh, and I will say, before I started the knitwear business, you don't know this about me, Paul, I was pregnant with Nina, so that was 12 years ago, and I attended a local how to set up your own business course, okay? And I had started a business called Promote Me, okay, because I was helping people promote themselves. And then I was also interested in doing this knitwear because when I had Felix, my son, the Peruvian in-laws sent over loads of Peruvian knitwear like hats and ponchos and that stuff. And I thought, oh, maybe I'm gonna get down my mum's pathway of importing, something from, a beautiful artisanal product from the world, or am I going to go down the route of helping people promote themselves? So I was in the course and we had to write a business plan. And it was probably in week 2 or 3 of being on that business course. And the guy said, okay, Amanda, you've got to choose. Because I said, I don't know what to do. Knitwear, promote me, knitwear. He says, choose. So I said, okay, I'm going to go down the knitwear route. And actually, I went 360, didn't I? So I did my knitwear, did all that, did like an MBA in learning how to run my own business. And in fact, it's really good that I did that. So I learned, I did loads of networking. I learned how to use Twitter and how to, I don't know, all the rigmarole of running your own business. So I can really understand when I have my clients, what they're going through when they want to promote themselves. But actually, I have ended up going back to Promote Me, as in helping people promote their businesses.
And I think that gives you a real advantage because you've seen both sides of the industry, right? You've run the business and also you've promoted it as well. So now that you're helping your clients do their thing, it's a much better place to come from.
Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise, if I was just simply helping people promote themselves without really having run my own business and had the blood, sweat, and tears and the rejections and this and that and the other, I wouldn't be hopefully as good as I am now.
No, absolutely. And you are very, I've been to some of your events as well, as you know, and you are very, very good at what you do.
Oh.
I would give you high recommendations.
Oh, listen to that.
With that. Amanda, what's 2020 going to hold for you? What are you looking to achieve as you move forward throughout the next decade?
20, I mean the whole decade or the year?
No, just moving forward, the year.
Yeah, so I think for the year, well, as I said, I've been under my stone. There's the visibility woman and she's been invisible. So I want to come out and show the world how awesome you can be if you promote yourself and you have the self-confidence. So I want to reach more clients. I don't, I'm not one of these people who likes to have a membership site. I can't do that. I just want to have a handful of amazing clients who I help and guide, throughout the year. I handpick my clients. So I make sure that we're going to be very compatible. So I want to make sure I change people's lives, because you see, the people I work with are all people who transform people's lives. So they will be mindset coaches, a relationship coach, NLP expert. It's all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And they have a massive impact on their communities. And they want to have a massive impact wider. So I want to basically help when you drop a pebble into the stone, that's my ripple. I want to help everybody else's ripples as well.
Oh, that's amazing. That's brilliant. And knowing you as I do, I know you'll do it with not too much trouble as well. So that's fantastic.
Oh, I hope so. I really hope I can, get back on track.
Where do people find you, Amanda? Where's the best place to connect with you?
Thank you for asking, Paul. So I have a website and it's quite a simple name. It's amandapr.com. Or you can go to Facebook and I have a group there. It's if I give training and I'm going to be doing more Facebook Lives, and it's called PR Secrets. If you go into Facebook and search up PR Secrets, or Instagram, or Instagram or Twitter, actually, it's at Amanda PR Expert. So you can find me wherever you want to find me. And it's interesting because all the different platforms, you kind of do different things. So I think I really like Instagram now. I'm really into it. So I kind of keep my grid more professional. I was doing lots of dog photos. I've got 2 dogs and I do lots of dog walking. People are going, what, a social media expert said, why are you posting those pictures of your dogs? I thought, oh, thanks, love.
I like dogs. Let's be honest. Dogs are great, right?
I know. So I don't know. So she says, well, stop posting your dog pictures. I thought, oh, thanks. So I do that more in my stories.
Yeah. That's what I was told, funny enough, by someone. Do it in your stories.
As well. Yeah. So you see,
there must be value in that. Yeah.
You can be a bit more nitty gritty and a bit more no makeup. I'm looking a bit shit today, and now I'm on my dog walk, and I do do stupid videos there or whatever.
A bit spontaneous, I think.
Spontaneous.
I was told, yeah. And
then Facebook is more, I've got, it's really fun. I don't know why this is happening, but I'm getting loads and loads of people wanting to become friends. And somebody said maybe it's your energy you're putting out, but I don't understand why. It's suddenly like 3 or 4 a day, whereas last year and all the years before it was like, every once a month or something.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, actually today, that I've had so many new friends or requests for friends on Instagram.
Oh, on Instagram, really?
It hasn't happened for a while. I've been stuck at the same amount. Not that I'm not really interested in having thousands and thousands and thousands. I'd rather have a good group of people that interact with me. But I've been stuck at the same number-ish.
So what's your number? Go on. What's your number?
1,000, Instagram, 1,000. It was about 1,130.
Oh, was it? We're twins.
No, I'm 1,170 something at the moment.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm beating you just by, sorry. I've got 1,107. But I was stuck on a hump of, I was 1,060.
Right, okay. Yeah, it's funny.
So I gave a talk the other day, so I gained.
Yeah, 1,176 I've gone up to, but that's happened in like the course of a few days. So I don't know what I've changed or what's happened or if the algorithm's changing now. It's more in favour of what I'm posting. I don't know.
Yeah, and likewise for the Facebook, it's like, why are these people? And it's actually tending to be people from the spiritual world, not world, but people who are a bit more in tune with themselves. Maybe it's because they can see that I've had my awakening, my ego awakening.
Maybe. Well, energy counts for a lot, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, look, I'm well aware of time constraints, Amanda, and how important it is to you. And I want to thank you so very much for taking the time out of your busy day to spend 45 minutes with me and giving such great value.
Yes. Well, listen, Paul, it's been lovely. And I was actually thanking you yesterday because I listened. I don't know if everybody's listened to your podcast you did about the gut. I did not know that the gut, is it the gut and the brain were connected?
Yeah, intrinsically linked. Same tissue, same fetal tissue, and they're linked by a nerve, a really important nerve, even in us as adults. So there's a lot of correlation between how healthy and functional your gut is and how healthy and functional your brain is. So if you are someone that wants to reach millions of people and spread a message and impact lives, you need to start by impacting your own by working on health, working on your health, working on your energy, and working on on everything around that, so you are able to bring the very best of yourself to the world.
Yeah, no, I thought it was fascinating. I did not know. And so when people talk about your gut instinct, I just did not know that there was an intrinsic link. And when
the gut was the first brain. It was our original brain.
Was it?
And when we developed as we evolved and became multicellular and started developing a nervous system, then it transmuted to the brain. But that's why
you're talking like when we were blobs, amoebas, or are you talking about when we were fetus?
Pretty much. So we started as a single cell,
Hang on a second, you're talking about when we were a fetus?
No, I'm talking about deep in our evolution, right? Yes. So we originally were very, very simple, and then we got more and more complex. But originally the gut is the seat of everything. And then it evolved, and we became, more consciously aware, bigger brain, etc., etc. But there's the link is still there. They're still connected. They're still developed out the same fetal tissue. So it is fascinating stuff.
And when I swim, I love going underwater, and I feel like I'm one of those amoeba swimming. I just feel like I'm one of those, like a blob. You know what I mean? I feel really connected with water. It's really strange.
Well, and also I have to say, if you haven't, if you want to connect with Amanda, check out her swimming videos when she's out in the absolute freezing depths of winter, the only person outside.
Well, I'm going to do
the
more.
comments on it are hilarious as well.
Yeah. Well, I did one in South Africa. It was actually warm for once. But
There you go.
oh, well, thank you so much, Paul. It's been really great speaking with you. Real
And
honour to be invited. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. And thanks very much for